How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Let's talk a little Jamar Chase. And we're going to keep this one short, sweet, and to the point. Sign the man. Sign the man right now. Might sound crazy, but Jamar Chase currently doing a sit-in is doing this organization a huge favor. I'm going to say it one more time. Jamar Chase not practicing right now, essentially demanding a contract extension, is doing this franchise a huge favor. And here's why. A.J. Brown, $32 million a year. Justin Jefferson, $35. Tyreek Hill, $30. You look at those guys, and there isn't a debate. There really isn't an argument to come to the table and say Jamar Chase deserves more than really any of them. Because now the reason you're going to get the Tyreek one, Tyreek is older, a lot older. A.J. Brown, 2 seasons, well over 1,400 yards, outpacing Chase the last couple seasons in that regard. And then there's, what Justin Jefferson's done. Absolute freak show, kind of on his own level right now. And you look at all that and say, hey, well, if Jamar Chase was healthy and if Joe Burrow was healthy, Jamar Chase is a 1,400-yard receiver every single year of his career. Excellent. No knock at all on Jamar Chase. But you know how the negotiations work. You know how the comparisons work. You're gonna compare what this guy is doing compared to the pack. Jamar's not the only elite receiver in the league, in other words here. And, when you go to the table and say, hey, Jamar's going to fall, you would think he's going to fall anywhere between 31 to 34 mil a year. Now, again, he's going to have some leverage over, again, A.J. Brown as well because, Chase is the far younger player. But at the end of the day, leverage is leverage. You're not going to pay him more than Justin Jefferson. So maybe he gets 34. Maybe he gets 33. Hey, whatever. Give it to him. Because here's the thing. Couple things. First of all, he's got 2 years left on his deal. Yeah, you could wait. I know what the Browns are worried about here. The Brown family is worried about here. It's like, we don't like the guaranteed money and, paying a guy this far in advance because who knows what could happen. Absolutely, who knows what could happen. But at the end of the day, I tell you what we know is going to happen. It's a guarantee. His health isn't a guarantee. It is a guarantee, though, if this guy plays this season and he is healthy with a Bengals offensive line that is going to be the best it has been in the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase era, with a Joe Burrow that, knock on wood, pray for the best, hate to say it, a Joe Burrow that's going to enter the season for the first time really healthy. And then you're going to throw a last place schedule on the ticket for the Cincinnati Bengals with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, the connection that has been together since college, that has been elite since college. And again, Burrow stays healthy last season. Joe Burrow's on pace for 1,400 yards. You bring in a new offensive coordinator who's going to give some different looks and new dynamic, make it harder for teams to slow this guy down. I think he's going to go off. I think Jamar Chase is the best season of his career. Even if he doesn't, even if he puts up 1,400 yards, you go into next season, odds are he's going to get paid more than Justin Jefferson. Because we see this year in and year out in the NFL as long as the cap's going up. Now, the one concern is obviously the NFL lawsuit, how that affects everything. Let's say, it's not going to affect the cap, but will it affect the cap? Because it could affect the cap in other ways as far as revenues generated, as how Sunday ticket and everything else is sold. So who knows? There is the question mark there. But just seeing how much the NFL is growing year over year, yeah, you're going to have to assume that the wide receiver position just gets paid more and more. 2 years from now, more and more, right? Bengals could wait till you're fried to pay Jamar Chase. By the time that contract actually kicks in, if Jamar Chase, let's say $34 million a year, the high end, by the time that contract kicks in 3 years, there's a very good chance Jamar Chase is not a top 5 paid wide receiver in the league. And that contract just started. It is a steal of a contract in all regards from that manner. And here's the thing. Tyreek Hill just got the contract restructured. We're seeing what this man is doing. Just to kind of put things into perspective. 5 years ago, Tyreek Hill signed a 3-year, $54 million contract. $18 million a year average. Dang near half of what wide receivers are getting paid today. In other words, the wide receiver position is inflating in a big way from a contract perspective. Signed him. He wants to be signed. Give him all the money. Give him everything you want. Here you go, Jamar. You want 3 years, you want 4 years. Because even at 4 years, he's going to be, 29 when a contract ends? Perfect. Perfect setup. 29 contract ends. Because I tell you what, if you wait, you're going to be hurting. You're going to be paying him more. Absolutely. I mean, you might be able to let one of him or T go, but you're asking for a lot and you're hoping for a lot that Burton, Yoshivash, Charlie Jones, take the next step up and are these three, the next three on this roster. You want that number one stud if you can have it. Obviously, you don't want to tie yourself down financially like that, or you don't have to, but you're in a good position right now because he's going to be on the team for the next 2 years. And again, you just think about where that contract's going to be at that point in juncture. Personally, never been a fan of paying wide receivers top dollar like that. But I think you get to that point in the structure of his contract, that point in the term of his deal, where it's not as much of a liability, just, again, in comparison to the rest of the league. You do want to make sure you can lock down, your young, talented offensive lineman, your young, talented defensive lineman. Again, that's the concern. But I think this is a team that says, hey, you build around Chase, constantly drafting wide receivers, building from within where you ain't got to sign anybody else to big-term contracts, and you can make it work. Or you can try to go the Chiefs route. That's the only thing that the only thing that would not make sense. If the Bengals truly don't think they're going to keep Jamar Chase, no reason to believe they won't. They kept Green, they kept Chad. It's a team that keeps the receivers around. But if you're not going to keep Jamar Chase and you want to try to build from within in another way, absolutely okay. I understand why you're not going to sign him now. But if your full intention is to keep this guy around long term, you got to ink it right now while the contract's low. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, love y'all's thoughts. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.